Welcome back to module 3 of the unit analysis of time series, and we will be talking about the moving average method in this module. Recall that we are talking about the methods that are involved in measuring a trend in a time series, and in this context we have talked about two methods, that is the graphic or the freehand method and the semi-averages method in the previous modules. So a semi-average method, what it did was it divides the data into two equal parts and then finds an average for each of these halves, and both these points then are used in fitting a line to the trend or the time series, while the freehand curve is fitting a smooth curve to the given time series based on how we look at the data. The moving average method that is in this module is a slightly different concept, where what we try to do is we try to fit a smooth curve to the given time series by finding arithmetic mean or the averages over consecutive period of time. The main objective of this method is to get an overall idea of the trend that is followed by the time series, and what we do in this is we take an arithmetic mean of a given set of values over a set of consecutive periods. Okay, now these periods will depend on and how the time series is defined, whether it is in terms of days, months, years, and so on. So by doing this, what we do is we create a series of averages for different subsets of the data set. Okay, now depending on how the time series is behaving, whether it is repeating itself after a fixed period of time, okay, accordingly we decide the period. Now in that case we have a different period that we usually follow. We can follow a 3-yearly moving average or a 4-yearly moving average or a 5-yearly moving average and so on, depending on the nature of the time series. In 3-yearly moving average, what we do is we find out the average over a period of 3 consecutive times. Let's say, for example, suppose I have this data. These are the profit values of a particular company from 2009 to 2020, and we would like to see the trend using the 3-yearly moving averages for this data. So what we do is, so if I just write down this data again. So in 3-yearly moving averages, what we do is we find out the average over a period of 3. Okay, so we consider 3 years here. So what we'll do is we'll start with 3 years and we'll find out the average of this 3 years, the average of the variable that is profit here. So we start with the first year and then we find out the average for this 3 years. Then we go to the next year, 2010, and then we consider the next 3 years, those 3 years. So from 2010 to 2012, again we will find out the average. Then we go to the next year, 2011. So 2011 to 2013, we find out the average. So we consider consecutive periods of 3 years here, and we keep on finding the averages here. So we move from the first year to the last year over a period of 3 years, and we find out the average of this. That's why it is referred to as 3-yearly moving averages, because we move from the first year to the last year. Okay, so in finding the 3-yearly average, what you'll do is you'll add the 3 values and then you'll divide by 3. Now when you're looking at the first year, that is 2009 to 2011, that is this, to find out the average, you find out the average, or first find out the total of these 3, and you write down against the middle year. So the middle here is 2010. So what you'll do is you'll say 95, that is this first year, then 105 plus 82. You'll add this, and then the total of this will come to 280. So you add this. When you go to the next year, the next 3 consecutive years, so from 2010 to 2012, your middle year is 2011. So what you do is you look at these 3 years, so 105, 82 and 98, and this total you write against the middle year, that is 2011. So 105 plus 82 plus 98, and this total will come to 255. Then you go to the next 3 years, that is 2011 to 2013. Middle year is 2012. So here 82 plus 98 plus 56, that will come to 236. Then you go to the next 3 years. So now 2012 to 2014, middle year is 2013. So 98 plus 56 plus 46, that will come to 200. Next, the next set is 2013 to 2015, middle year is 2014. So this 56 plus 46 plus 45, that will come to 147. Then 2014 to 2016, middle year is 2015. So 46 plus 45 plus 89, okay, that will come to 180. Then the next set is 2015 to 2017. So 45 plus 89 plus 75. This total will come to 209. Then the next year is 2016 to 2018. Okay, so middle year is 2017. So it is 89 plus 75 plus 46. This total will come to 210. Then it is 2007 to 2019, 2017 to 2019, middle year is 2018. So 75 plus 46 plus 75, that will come to 196. And finally we have the last 3 years, 2018 2020, middle year is 2019. So 46 plus 75 plus 89, and this total will come to 210. Okay, you will see that the last year and the first year there are no values against it. That's because we take 3 years, and whatever is the value that we get, we write it against the middle year. So we start from 2010 here. Okay, so we found out the total. What we want is a 3 yearly moving average. So what we'll do is, you'll divide each of this value, each of this total by 3, because these are set of 3 years that we are considering. Okay, so 280 divided by 3 is 94, 255 by 3 is 85, then 236 divided by 3 is 78.67. So each of this value I divide by 3. So 200 by 3, 66.67, 147 by 3 is 49, then 180 divided by 3 is 60, 209 divided by 3 is 69.67, 210 divided by 3 is 70, 196 divided by 3 is 65.33, and 210 divided by 3 is 70. Okay, of course you could have even skipped this middle part that we did, the middle column that we wrote, and after finding the total you could have straight away divided by 3 here itself, and you could have written these values. Okay, but just for the sake of the start, I have considered, I have written this total as well. Okay, but this step can very well be skipped. What I want is precisely for each of this year moving averages values, that is the 3 yearly moving averages. So finally what we have is something like this. So we have found out the 3 yearly moving averages. Okay, so these are the actual profit values, and these are the 3 yearly moving averages. So if we just put it into a graph, okay, so this blue dots and the blue lines is the actual profit values, the actual data that is given to us, and against that I have plotted the 3 yearly moving averages. Okay, that is in the other color. Okay, so you will see that the actual graph, which is more of a random, scattered, if we have tried to smoothen it by using the 3 yearly moving averages. Okay, what I did was, for each of this year, so for 2010, of course we know how to draw a scattered plot for this graph. Besides that, after drawing that the line graph, then for each of this year, 2010 I have marked 94, for 2011 I have marked 85, for 2012 78.67, and so on. Okay, that's how I have got this 3 yearly moving averages curve. for 2010, whatever is the value for 2010, that value 94, then 2012, then 2011. So I've marked these points and I've joined it using a line graph. Okay, so basically I could see a better trend that is followed in this time series after using a 3 yearly moving averages. So same like how I have a 3 yearly moving averages, I can also use 5 yearly, 4 yearly, 5 yearly moving averages. Okay. So let us say if I want to use a 5 yearly moving averages for the same data. Okay, this is the same data that we have considered earlier. Now what 5 yearly moving averages does is, it will find out the average over a period of 5 consecutive terms. So that will be the difference between a 3 yearly and a 5 yearly average method. Okay, so consider this data that we have here. So again, exactly the same procedure, except that instead of considering 3 years, now we will be considering 5 years. So starting with the first year, so 2009 to 2013, you will find out the 5 yearly average, and then you will write it against the middle year. So from 2009 to 2013, the middle year is 2011. So that 5 yearly average will write down here against this. Then you will go to the next 5 years, 2010 to 2014. So 2010 to 2014, 10 to 14 middle year is 2012. So that 5 yearly average will write down here. Okay, so again the same way like how we did it earlier. So you'll add this 5 values. So when you're finding the 5 yearly averages for 2009 to 2013, you will add these values, 95 plus 105 plus 82 plus 98 plus 56, that value, and that will write against the middle year 2011. This total comes to 436. Then you will go to the next 5 years, that is this 105, 82, 98, 56 and 46, and that total and that 5 yearly average will come against the middle year 2012. This total comes to 387. Then you will go to the next 5 years, that is 2011 to 2015. So 11 to 2015. In that case, then you are looking at these 5 values. In that case, the middle year is 2013. So 82 plus 98 plus 56 plus 46 plus 45. This value will come to 327, the total. Then you go to the next 5 years. 98 plus 56 plus 46 plus 45 plus 89. This will come to 334. Next we go to the next 5 years. That is this. That will come against the middle year 2015. Okay. So 56 plus 46 plus 45 plus 89 plus 75. That will come to 311. Then you go to the next 5 years. That will come against 2016. The total will come to 301. Then you go to the next 5 years. This total will come to 330. And then finally the last 5 years, that is from 89 to 89. So 89 plus 75 plus 46 plus 75 plus 89. This will come to 374. Now you will see that when you are finding 5 yearly total and 5 yearly moving average, the last 2 columns, the first 2 columns are vacant, because we are writing the value against the middle year for that 5-year term. So what we want is the 5 yearly average. So I could have directly divided each of this value by 5 and straight away write down the 5 yearly average. So 436 divided by 5 is 87.5. 387 divided by 5, 77.4. 327 divided by 5 is 65.4. 334 divided by 5 is 66.8. 311 divided by 5 is 62.2. 301 by 5 is 60.2. 330 divided by 5 is 66. And 374 divided by 5 is 74.8. Okay, so for each of this year, these are the actual values, and now these are the values using 5 yearly moving averages. Okay, so this is how I have got it. Okay, so if I try to put this into a graphical representation, okay, so I can draw a graph for the profit, and then against it I can draw the graph for 5 yearly moving average. So what I'll get is a graph something like this. Okay, so this blue lines is the actual profit values. You know how to plot it. And then what I have done is I have plotted each of these values against the year where it is marked. For 2011 it is 87.5. So each of these values here I have marked it against the respective year. So 2011 it is 87.5. So 2011 87.5. Then 2012 the value corresponding to that. Then 2013 and so on. So from 2011 to 2018. Okay, so I have marked, so this is the 5-yearly moving curve, and you will see that we can see a trend in a better way. Okay, for this original graph, which is more of a fluctuating, okay, the variations are higher in that original graph, and we have tried to smoothen it, and we are in a better position to look at the trend that is followed by the time series in general.